Hello and happy Wednesday. And if you are watching the live replay, thank you for taking the time to catch up with me. And I, as always, will wait a little while people gather before I do too much. I'm still kind of getting myself set up. And if my friends can't join me today, that's okay too, because I can just sit and ramble. I have no trouble talking and talking and talking. But we will just see who has time to spend with me today. I'm trying to get a few things started. I've got this one started, and the green one started. Hi, Sandy. How are you doing today? Happy Wednesday to you. Hey, Michelle. Hi, Carol. Hi, Marjorie. Oh, I'm so glad to see you guys. Thank you for joining in. So my goal, my plan is not to try and get to a finish point, but I want to get a lot of pieces just in the middle of things. Hi, Lori, because the next few weeks with the holidays are going to be kind of crazy. So it's nice to have things that are, not, let's see, I could probably bring you down a little more. Or I could make my head not so big. That'll give you more room, huh? There we go. Now you can see a little bit better. So I kind of want to just get some things started. This one's harder to see because it's green on green. And then these are the browns. And I'm assuming the sound is okay. You guys can hear me okay. I don't have to stress about that. I can only stress about weird things my monitor is doing. I don't know where that's from. I have to tell you, I've been watching some different stitchers lately. Sandy sold 10 of her 14 journals at the bazaar on Saturday. That is fabulous. I am so proud of you. Oh, I hope you gave yourself a huge pat on the back. Huge. That's amazing. Definitely motivation to do some more creating, right? All right. So what I'm thinking here. All right, I got some little bits as I was cleaning off my desk because I am excited. I have company coming tonight. My son and his girlfriend are coming to visit, and I have not seen my son in 4.5 years. So I am super, super excited that they're coming out here. And so I've been cleaning off my desk and found all kinds of odds and ends. I mean, look at this juicy pile of stuff. Ah, thanks, Sandy. Yeah, we all need those pats on the back. All right, so I've got two big pieces here. And I think, so this one, okay, let's see if you guys see what I see. Do you guys see anything in the stains that are on here? Hey, Sandy. Hi, Lori. Hey, Joanne, you made it. Awesome. I'm looking at this, and I kind of see a mountaintop. And I don't know, I guess some hills, valleys, the sky. Yeah, see, I see the mountain too. And I'm not real sure how to address that. Would I want to do, I don't think I want to do a satin stitch because then I think I'm going to lose some things. Maybe a seed stitch all around it. How would you address that? I always, the starting point is always where I hesitate. Good morning, Diane. How are you doing today? We are celebrating Sandy, who sold 10 of her 14 journals this last weekend. That is so amazing. Sandy, were people surprised at what they were? Were they excited? Did they, figure out what they were? Hey, Mona. So I don't know. I'm loving this. But when I'm looking at this thing up here, I'm like, leave it as a negative space. That's a good idea. Do all my other stitching around it. I like that idea. Of course, then I have no idea what I'm going to do around it. I don't know. I might have to think on this one. I have this one, which is lovely random. I want to stitch on this kind of stuff because it's got the, it's the linen. Seed stitches in a variety of grays and blacks. Oh, what's a negative space? Okay. It's easier to show with paper. Grab a Post-it note. So, you know, in jelly printing, you see them. I love the idea of stitches in gray and black, seed stitches all around there. You have a stencil. Negative space is where there is no color or there's no action going on. So if I did a jelly print of this, okay, I'm going to have a print of my circle. And then if I take a ghost print from that, I'm going to have this space, which is the negative space where the object, the focal point isn't. Ooh, so Marjorie says, and I love this because Marjorie's a fabulous artist. I would first decide where my light source is, then use negative space as the lightest and seed stitch to darken the valleys, etc. I love that idea. Okay, I think this is going to be, yes, if the light's coming over the mountains here, and I need some different threads that I did not bring out of the studio. I'm liking this idea a lot. I need to write a couple of these things down. Just a minute here. No, I wish I could copy comments in StreamYard and I can't. Yeah, so I'm going to remember that, or I'm going to ask you again, or maybe I'll post it in the group and we can all discuss it. So I think this one's going to need some more threads that I didn't bring out. So I think I'm going to go to the random one. And I don't have to decide what's right up and down. Hey, Shelly, how are you doing? Has the rain been bothering you? Have you guys got any flooding? Are you going to be able to move? I was so worried about you when I was seeing all the news. Sandy says, when you build up the trees and flowers, leave the space. It will draw the viewer into the picture. That's a good idea, too. Joanne, sometimes they just come, you know, you see the pictures because it just all kind of comes together. And sometimes I don't. Sometimes I don't see anything. I'm in love with this strip. This is just so yummy. And I want to do it on something, but maybe. Hey, Victoria. You're here, but I'm also busy doing a few other things on the PC, mostly listening. Good. I know you're always so busy. Hey, Corinne. Shelly says it was crazy here. Yeah, Shelly lives in Hawaii, guys. So if you followed any of the news and you've seen some of the horrible things that have been happening in Hawaii, I've been worried about my friend. I don't know. This one, I just kind of want to layer some stuff. Ooh, metallics. Yeah, I'm not real good at stitching with metallics unless I'm couching. I don't have another big piece. Well, I have this big piece. Okay, maybe I got this urge to layer. See, now you got me thinking. Maybe we'll put that one aside. Okay, so rain like a tropical storm. We were lucky we live central, so we just had a lot of water. Some of the island had roads wash out and mudslides. Yeah, so scary. You live in paradise, and then how many days until the big move? Corinne, what are you working on lately? You've always got something going on. Okay, so let's see if you can see the full. I'll pull this up just a little bit. Yeah, I've got some metallic threads, so I could couch stuff on that random one. But I'll probably post something in the group because I'm not so sure color-wise what I might like. 2 weeks. Oh my goodness, it's so quick. Victoria says, I'm having to register my mom's COVID test results with test and trace. I'm over it now, though still fatigued and coughing, But now both my parents have it and they're in a bad way. Oh, that's so scary. I'm so sorry. This one's kind of calling to me. Maybe this will be less about embroidery and more. I want to stitch. I want to stitch. And more about other things. See, all these things are planned out and too many decisions. See, I'm liking the idea of doing something long on here. Stitching on that piece with the elephant. What elephant? Uh-oh, help me out, Corinne. You see an elephant? Sandy says she sees an angel in this one. In this piece here, maybe? Or is this, oh, maybe this could be an elephant. Oh, you guys. I'm liking this. All right, so maybe what I should do is just grab my one that I had started and go back to it, because it looks like I've got some thinking to do about these other ones. Yeah, step back and look. Just put the needle in the fabric. Yeah, I know. This one got me ticked off, though, so I'm not going to play on that one. Okay. On the whole, they're okay. They're both just very sick. Can't keep anything down. Oh, that's hard. Their breathing is fine. That's terrific. In this piece, you see dimension, so add. I'm wondering about just seed stitching all over something. So I brought out too many pieces too, right? Oh, you're stitching on an elephant. Okay. Oh, that's right. You're working on something for your husband, right? Yeah, this kind of looks like, the previous one. On this one, I've got a few stitches started, so maybe I should just go back to this. I'm thinking just seed stitches all in here. Hey, Shoshi. How you doing today? Yeah, I love this cave writing. And I'm thinking this might need some couching on it. I didn't bring out some thick threads for couching. So, yeah. Shoshi, we've been going through all these pieces trying to make up my mind. And yeah, it's way too much. All right, I just kind of want to start. And I'll probably move over to this one. But let's just... I have a needle threaded. I'm having too much fun for your mental stability. Hey, Fiona. How are you doing? I love that we have people joining from all over the world. Thank you all. Oh, I can bring you down. Bring you back down again. I'm just really getting rolling. All right. I can almost twist, not quite. I'm so used to making my knots with my bum finger, but I can't twist on it. Good morning, Sharon. How are you doing? Yeah, there's so many choices, Shoshi. It's just really hard to decide, but I'm kind of in the mode of coloring fabric right now. I really want to just be coloring a lot of fabric, and I'm okay with that. So I think I'm just going to do some random seed stitches on here, and this can always be something that can go onto something else. Oh, you're able to stitch on it in the evenings while you watch TV, and he has no idea. That's great. I love it. Hey, Mariah, how are you doing? Sandy says, at this point, I'm thinking people from all over the galaxy. You are so right. So any of you really good stitchers, organized stitchers, I should say, do you keep your needles nicely organized by size so you know when you're picking up a darner's needle or a Milner needle or something like that? I've watched a couple people that do that, and I confess the only time my needles I can identify are when they're still on the card. And after that, all bets are off. I just pick something that feels like it's going to go through the fabric and that I'm going to be able to thread the needle. And other than that, I don't. So I was typical Susan fashion, right? I was beating myself up. I was like, oh my gosh, I should be keeping all these needles all straight and sorted so I could tell people what I'm using. And I'm sorry. I can't. I just can't. I am fabulous, Sharon. I am fabulous because I don't know if you heard last night. I mean, my son is coming to visit today, and I have not seen him in 4.5 years. And he's bringing his girlfriend, whom I haven't met yet. And I'm just so excited. So, Sandy, you just pick something you can thread. Yeah, see, that's what I do. And I was impressed. I was very impressed with the people that are able to do that. And it's wonderful for people that are teaching people. You have 3 needles and they're on a magnet on the roundy cart. Yep. I have 2 needles. Diane says I have 2 needles and they're stuck to a magnet on my video stick. Oh, that's awesome. That is a really good idea. I have some thin magnet strips. If I put them up here on my Hello, Abby. How are you doing today? Oh my gosh, you stitchers. If you do not know Abby's channel, you have got to go check that out. Abby at Purple Cottage Crafts is an amazing stitcher, and she does just some beautiful needlework. Sandy says it's like my GPA. Don't ask, don't tell. End result, it is the product, not the resource. Absolutely. Corinne, yeah, I'm going to make a needle book. That is definitely on my kit, so that now that I have a selection of favorite needles, and the other ones I need to just probably put in my pile for resting. I do have needles, seam rippers, and scissors in 2 places, over here where I film and then over on the couch where I stitch, even though I still take things back and forth. Yeah, I'm just beyond excited that I get to see my son. And I got the house clean. So that is a bonus. Let's see. I can probably do that a little better. So Abby says, I absolutely do not keep track of my needle sizes. It's not important to me except when I'm doing sashiko. When I do a tutorial type video, I will try to show the needle size. Yep. Love you right back, Abby. I feel better now. Thank you, guys. You know, I can find something to beat myself up about all the freaking time. See, and this is what happens when I stitch. Now I'm starting this. I love, the other day, I wanted to use this thread and it didn't go with anything. And today it's just perfect. My son is 42. And he lives about 4.5 hours away, I guess. But his girlfriend has a work thing that's only about half an hour away from us. So they came down to spend the night for the work thing, and close enough that they can come to visit. So I'm so excited. I know Shelley's lives I miss all the time too, and end up watching in the replay, and then I'm watching them when I can't comment, and that's frustrating. And our wonderful Miss Terry that shares the links, she had an eye appointment today, so she has not been able to join us today and do all her wonderful linky stuff. Sometimes I think I could just take a plain piece of fabric and do nothing but seed stitch on it. I love being able to do this. It's all right, so Shelley's been in purge mode. Now for the last year, I had been doing all this big purging and cleaning out of stuff. And then I have to stop myself. I use something up and I totally want to go shopping again. It's ridiculous. Are you finding that you want to go replace anything, Shelley, or are you being pretty good about letting things go? I can't even imagine what a feat it must be to have to move from an island and the cost. Oh my goodness. All right. And I'm in love with so many different kinds of threads. I don't lust for fabric, but I am really getting some lust up for some different threads. So I did splurge a little bit and bought some of the painter threads. Yeah, you did a ton of purging too, Abby. Oh my goodness. I can't believe how much purging you did. And now you're out where you can find all these wonderful, great old goodies and old linens and rusty places. I'm excited for you. So you have the urge to replace things, but you've been fairly good. That's awesome. I had to stop myself because I really, as I was cleaning, I was putting things away. And I know Sharon's been doing a lot of reorganizing of her studio space. And I kind of, I've been thinking about how I wanted to change something since I'm using more fabric than paper lately. And I had this idea and I had to stop myself and say, no, you cannot work on that now. You need to save that for later. I have been really busy with the fabric dyeing, and my reasoning for doing the fabric dyeing is twofold. One, I don't want to have so many inks and paints and things. I know what my favorites are to use now, so I want to use a lot of this other stuff up. And two, I decided I would really rather have a closet that was filled with fabric that was already dyed and painted and ready to play with than to have so much of it that was just waiting for me to do something with, because I sit down to work and I'm not going to be able to, I was like, oh, I have to stop and, dye this. And then I have to wait for stuff to dry and, all that good stuff. So I'll be doing, after my son's visit, which is just for tonight, I will be doing a lot more dyeing, and we'll probably do some fabric painting on the jelly plate, that kind of stuff. Diane says, I am purging, but you need to reward yourself. So for every 10 stamps I purge, I buy one set that I really need. For all the fabric I purge, I get more stuff I can dye. Yep. Ooh, Sandy, please share what you learned. Marjorie says, I have bags of fabric scraps from 1-inch square to larger, and I've decided to make myself a slow stitch wrap skirt. We will see how well it turns out. I am so pleased with my knots that I did with the no-sew, joined with all the no-sew method of, my weird colored scraps, that I'm doing that with a lot of my other scrap pieces, and I'm going to be making a lot more of these long knots to go with the fiber sculpture stuff that I'm going to be making with the fabric I've been dyeing. Abby says, I donated so much scrapbook paper crafting supplies that my most favorite thrift store actually had to create a second aisle in the craft section for my stuff. 26 years of accumulation. Oh my goodness. Are you sorry that you got rid of any of it, or are you like me finding that you're turning more to fabric than paper lately? Like, I need to make a whole bunch of either flow books or maybe just paper packs so that I can use up a lot of the paper. Oh, Michelle, what are you stitching on? Anything in particular? So Sandy said the Doing Girls, tween to high school, all stopped and loved them. They loved the secret spaces and little pockets. Yes. Yep. If the skirt is hideous, it becomes journal covers. Perfect, Marjorie. Are you going to just do it all by stitching, or are you going to do anything with any dissolvable interfacing? I've got a bunch of that waiting to be used up too. They just didn't have the money. Ah, that's hard. More fabric, less paper. Yeah, I'm feeling the same way. I love paper still, but I think I'm just going to do a whole bunch of either paper packs or flow journals. Sharon says, I just packed away a ton of scrapbooking things that I'm thinking could be purged. I needed to get them out of my way. Yeah, and sometimes I find, like, if I put them in another spot where I'm not going to see them, it feels like it's easier to take that next step and let them go. Diane says, I asked on a local journal page if there were any newbies and found some. I gave them each a box of stuff and they were so happy. And so was I. Yeah, that's a wonderful way to de-stash. Abby says, paper will always be my first love, but over the past 4 years, I have transformed more to the fabric textile world and I freaking love it. Same here, Abby. Absolutely. Same here. Sandy says, market to the grandma. They love the steampunk style. Wow. That's you, Lori girl. Marjorie's all stitching. Carol says, me too. More on the fabric than paper. The grandparents can buy for the grandchildren. Yep. Yeah, there's something, I don't know if primitive is the right word, but it does take us back in time, doesn't it, about the stitching? Victoria is done with her stuff and she's here properly. Nice. And the guilt. Okay, those of you that are letting go of a lot of your paper stuff, how are you dealing with the guilt? The guilt that you bought all this stuff and you didn't use it. I always struggle with the guilt. Michelle says, I switch off from jewelry making to paper crafts to textile collage. Yep. Abby says, while purging, I discovered that I really don't create with scrapbook paper anymore. I really love working with vintage papers, but I still, of course, use papers made in my lifetime. Yeah. Oh, the grandchildren love the steampunk style, not the grandparents. Yeah. There's a fashion niche called grandma core. Really? Lori, I hear you on the stamping stuff. I had gone crazy with stamping things and I sold off a lot of mine. Thank you, Corinne. And I find that even what I kept, I still don't use. So I will probably be selling that off too. And now I look at the stuff that I'm selling off or, giving away to other people that will use it. And I'm thinking, oh, look at, that's another shelf that I can put fabric on. There should be no guilt. It served a purpose at the time and brought you joy. And then we evolve our style. Yeah. Victoria says, I think I lost my sense of giving a crap when I lost my sense of taste and smell. I threw out a box of paper and cardboard yesterday and didn't even look back. Yeah, you reach a point, and then once it's gone, it's like the guilt is only temporary while I'm making the decision. Then when I'm gone, I'm done with it. Sandy says, that's why I love mixed medium. Jewelry translates to paper, to material. It all gets used. Yeah. And I think it's our style that evolves. Whoever said that, Diane said that, we don't always start off knowing what it is that we're going to fall in love with. Lori says, I don't have an Etsy store. Where and how to sell? Well, you're on Facebook, Lori, so you could certainly sell in a lot of the Facebook groups that offer selling. There are, who knows? I've dropped out of a lot of my selling groups, but who knows of any selling groups if you're trying to sell off craft supplies that Lori can go join. Yeah, so many. I did use, I don't know, I guess, did I show that? Maybe I just did that on Instagram. I'm going to do a dyeing fabric video here soon. But one of the things I did to use up ink pads, any of my archival ink pads, I basically just took them and ran them across pieces of fabric and then did other things to color the fabric. And then they gave these really interesting marks. There's photos of the stuff over on Instagram. Junk Journal Junkies Boutique. There we go. Yeah. Crafty stash pages. There are heaps. Lori can post in the Facebook Marketplace. That's true. And yeah, join the Junk Journal Junkies Boutique selling group. That's a good one. Abby sells off my YouTube channel and have for years if you're into that format of selling your work. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do with my next big D-stash is I'm just going to do like, I love the way you did yours, Abby, where you had the flat rate boxes and it's like, this is what you're getting. This is everything I can get in there. And boom, first person gets it. I thought that was a brilliant way to do it. Our More Fabrics is for shopping, though, not for selling, right? Yeah, I've bought some fabric from her in the past. I'm not buying any more fabric, not until I go through all the stuff I've got. Well, not all the stuff, but go through more of the stuff. All right, I kind of see where I want to go with this. So is anybody making Christmas presents? And are you making journals or are you making other things? I'm not making any Christmas presents. Mostly don't have that many people to buy for. The less math and shipping calculations I have to do, the better. Oh, amen to that. Every time I've had a sale, there has been one person's stuff that I messed up the address on. It came back. I had to send it again. And basically, I ended up, giving the stuff away because of what I had to pay for the extra shipping and things. You got a piece of pink chenille that you're super in love with from Selena? Marjorie is crocheting evil Doctor Who characters. Oh my goodness. I'm going to have to go take a look if you've posted any pictures. That sounds fun. Diane's making a few brag books for gifts. So what are you calling a brag book? Is that like a journal that, oh, you got it from Patty. Nice. That you can put pictures and things in? Yeah, Lori, Abby says when she had paper, she had mixed lots unless it was holiday, sport theme, etc. I did the same for my laces, fabrics, embellishments. Yeah, she did a great job with her. And the videos are still up there. So you can go over to her channel and look at her selling videos and get some ideas. Okay, you guys are motivating me now. Tomorrow I want to go purge some more papery things. Actually, no, first I want to make the flow books, just the journals that are ready for somebody else to embellish. And I'm thinking, because I've got a bunch, I've got like 25 book covers that are already covered with fabric. So what I'm thinking I might do is do like kits where it's like you get all these papers to go with this hardcover that you can finish yourself. A small journal that has some fabric pages and some card pages for photos and the same paper for journaling. They are all 3x5. Oh, that's fun. That's nice. So Abby says, I did separate videos for each box just to make my life easier and to keep track of what sold. I showed the contents of each box so people would know what they were getting. It was super. It was great. Go check out one of her old ones. You can buy more stuff now. Yeah, but I'm going to get rid of papery stuff first. You don't need more paper stuff. I also, okay, the one thing I did buy recently, and I've got a post about it so you guys can go check her out, is I bought a huge lot of mother of pearl buttons that are amazing. Carolyn, and I can't pronounce her last name. You threw out some digitals about a month ago that I've had printed off for like 18 months and never used. I needed the space and can print again. Oh, yeah. I've still got that huge stack of test pages and some of my kits that I've printed out and haven't used. And maybe I should just offer them in the group to somebody that wants to pay for the shipping, what I can fit in a flat rate envelope, and I can pass them on to somebody that way. Because I haven't been able to be brave enough to toss them out. And I was keeping stuff for making paper. And it was like, unfortunately, you buy things, they come in paper, and it's just too much paper comes in the house. I really didn't need to save anything else for making paper. I saved one huge bin so that this summer I can do some more paper making, but that's it. I don't want to save anymore. All right. I like this. It's just a little something, and I love that needle, and it is not one of my original favorite needles, so I'm hoping that's one of my new ones that I bought. So maybe we'll balance that with, that was floss. So yeah, I tossed all the cardboard that I'd been saving in the garage. I coffee dye the back of digitals I don't use. Then I have the option of both sides. That's a good idea. I do that when I make jelly prints on just standard printer paper. I dip them all in a coffee bath afterwards. So I could just seed stitch this. That might be better in a lighter color. Or I was thinking some little knots. It's too bright. It's kind of too silver. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I want something that's just right. I'm too picky. Yeah, the paper making needs to be in the nicer weather. I'm having a hard time as I'm dyeing fabrics, getting things to dry. You know, in the mornings we have the fire on and I can put them in front of the fire. So I don't know. This might just become a very big piece. Thank you, Abby. Yeah, and I'm really having fun using up stuff that we don't think about, you know, with dyeing. All right, I can do seed stitches. I'm thinking with that all over here because it's lighter. You just added a piece of vintage photo colored string. Nice. The best time to destash is when you're in a bad mood. I think you might be right, Victoria. All right, do you think if I add some French knots in between the seed stitch, it's going to be too much? I don't care. I want to make some not necessarily French knots. I want to make some knots. 4 years now, and I haven't had proper storage. I recently purchased 2 new sets of shelving, which sparked my reorganization. My plan was to set up and fill my new shelving, but now you've ended up, I got to wait for the rest of it. Hasn't Sharon been doing some fabulous videos lately? She is over on Instagram, is just doing some good stuff. All right. Hey, Debbie, are you sneaking in from work? Abby says, whoops, I looked away. I'm stitching and chatting while I'm watching. After your live, I'll be organizing and freezing all my leaves I grab over back in Oregon on holiday. And see, I just got my stuff set up in the sunroom to do my eco printing, and I'm going to take my leaves out of the freezer and get to work on them. Diane said I got gifted a huge box of embroidered doilies, runners, and tablecloths. I was like, no, yay, no, where am I going to put it? Yeah. So Sharon is now, so one thing, yeah, you get new shelving and then it's leading to you to completely reorganize what I'm storing in the big cube shelving that sits directly behind me. It's been huge, but I'm so excited. Yeah, it feels good when you start to see like this is the right place for things. And those big clear containers, I went and measured the shelves that I've got all my papers in to see if my clear containers would fit in there. And they did. So I can't wait to use up the paper or dispose of the paper so then I can move the fabric in there. Debbie's off today. Sharon's channel is Paper and Lace Moments, and her IG is the same thing. Yeah, she did show the storage bins on Instagram. Aren't they wonderful? I just really love them. Yeah, isn't it a fun way to, it kind of, you stay connected even while you're doing these big organizing projects. All right, so I'm doing a single strand of floss instead of 3. Oh, or do I want to do, shoot. Okay, guys, decision time. I have a single strand instead of 3 strands. I was going to do knots, but maybe what I want to do is just seed stitching in a different texture. What do you think? We'll take a vote because I could fill in a lot more of that and I'll have that just wonderfully textured place there. And I know there's a delay, which is a good time for me to hydrate. Lori says, I just sorted and organized recycled clothing fabric and I love it and can find stuff. Yeah, when you can find what you're looking for, it makes a huge difference. I'd have cut that a little long. Hey, Shauna, how are you doing? What are you working on today? I am really torn here. And then maybe what I could do is when I come over here, maybe because it's kind of like a triangle, maybe I will balance it and do the 3 strands of this color and 1 strand of the other. Yeah, I like the seed stitching in varied textures too. Fiona says knots might be too small. Yeah, I'm thinking that might be right too. And I can always do some random knots around the edges. And, here's the thing, I have no plan with this. This is not going somewhere. This just is. This is the enjoyable stitching that I wanted to do while visiting with you guys. You're making progress on your scrapbooks for your channel mods and members. That's nice. Now, I think Sharon's things are like these, only huge to go in her cubbies. And I love, love, love having clear containers so I can see what's in them. We just added some more to our kitchen pantry. Okay, this is good because it's really, it's almost the same color of the dye. I think these are coffee dyed. And so it's just, you're going to have to, when it's up close, let me do a few more and then I'll bring it up. Yeah, I think this is what I'm going to do. And then on the other side, I'm going to alter it. Yeah, I'm thinking, that's what I was thinking, Victoria, is I'm going to seed stitch over here and then I can do some knots, somewhere, maybe the bridge. And then, what might happen is that this might get stitched, not to that particular piece, but it might get stitched to another piece. Debbie is still organizing since she's in her new space, but all better now. Nice. You are such a dork. Yes, Abby, you and me both. I cannot tell you how many times I go looking for somebody. It's like, oh, I do already follow them. I actually kind of want a little cheat sheet on Instagram where I can group the people that I want to make sure I check out all the time. Because when it's not by name, I have a really hard time. Debbie, you have quite a stack of things to destash. Yeah. What kind of stuff are you going to get rid of? Many of us here are getting rid of papery items. All right. So I don't know if you can see, will it even focus? You can kind of see here. I might need to get a lot more in there to be able to see. It's a mix. Yeah. There's always something to destash. I'm feeling so good when I empty bottles. Mariah, my stack of spray bottles for you is growing. So after my son's visit, I will be back to using up more of them. I still have a huge amount of glimmer mists that I think they work great on fabric if you're mixing them with something else, but I think I'll probably do a bunch of papers since I've got a lot of paper I want to use up too and put them in those other books. Ah, so yours have lids, Sharon? Oh, you can fit two large or 4 small on a shelf. Wow. Unless they're on my friends list, I just kind of identify people by their pictures rather than the names. That's hard. Yeah. There's a thing on Instagram. You can You can change your, well, you can always change your name. You can't change your username, but you can change the name that shows up. I forget how that goes, which way it goes, but yeah, I struggled. Like I still have a couple things that are as Poppiness, and I'm trying to, get everything branded as my name. I've got some ideas on how I'm going to pivot my YouTube channel. So it's hard when people can't find you. We want them to find us so they can buy our stuff, right? Hey, Mouse. How are you doing today? What are you up to? Are you ready for the holidays? Yeah, it's getting the names right. It's something we don't think about when we start to join all these things. So I do try to keep a little cheat sheet, but I forget. And I think on Instagram, there's a place where you can like put people as close friends or something like that, general and primary or some, I forget what it is, but it's every so often I have to go in and clean up. And any of you guys on Instagram, I'm going to do my public service announcement. Please, when you have these odd men that are following you, private accounts, they're all doctors and military people, please go in and block them. Do not inflate your followers by letting them stay. You do not need that. You want to know who's really following you. Yeah, sometimes, especially the older we get, at least for me, I'm only speaking from personal experience. I need all the help I can get remembering names. Mouse says, I tried to put some shelving together and now I have a blister. I didn't realize I was trying so hard. Oh dear. Was there success? Did you get the shelving done? Yeah, it takes a while to remember the names. And then if the person, has to, stay off of social media for a little while for one reason or another, and we don't see them, it's like, oh, wait a minute, who is that person again? So Victoria, you had the same issue. The junk journal paper crafting community had no idea who you were on YouTube or where to find you. Yeah, it's it can be tricky. We had some friends, neither one of them are do-it-themselvesers, and they bought a set of shelving from IKEA, took it home, watched all the parts slide out of the box, turned around, took it right back to IKEA. They're like, nope, we're not doing this. It's not us. Your shelving is supposed to be a cube, but it's a rhombus instead. Oh, that's too funny. I'm sorry. I shouldn't laugh because I feel the pain. If my husband didn't put those things together for me, I would have trouble. Yeah, I would totally, if I knew that I was going to fall so in love with textiles, I would have designed my fabric closet completely differently, because it wasn't supposed to be a fabric closet. It was supposed to be the coat closet, but it's between the studio and my filming area. So it became the fabric closet. So now I'm like, how can I make this work better for me? Trying to find these ways to make the spaces that we have when we're not like remodeling things, make the spaces we have work better. Okay, I'm glad I went with the seed stitches. I think that's what it needed. I think the knots were going to be, as Fiona said, too small. Victoria loves building flat pack stuff. Wow. Go girl. So if you guys are having a good time hanging out here, I hope you will hit the thumbs up. And if you're not already a member of the Facebook group, I hope you'll join us over there. The color of the week this week is red. So we're seeing some fun things being posted in the color red. Sandy, I know. Back in high school, it was cinder blocks and planks. Those were my shelves in my bedroom. And I had my wax candle on top of it. You have to decide who you want to be, Sharon. I've changed everything to my name except I have to figure out what I want to do with Pinterest because it's a pain in the rear. Also have a lot of things still posting or pointing to the old Poppiness site, which is redirected to susantaylorbrown.com. But I need to do some cleanup. Mouse says, I'm usually quite the cube shelver. I've never had a problem with IKEA, but this is Target throwing the shade. Yep. Leave it to Target. Throws something new in the mix. Wow, you guys must be motivating me somehow through the screen because I'm booking on this. Sandy says, now I have pine boxes and planks in the garage for my shelves. Yeah, in the studio, I have a beautiful set of 3 wood bookcases that my mother-in-law gave me. They weren't using anymore. And then I have an old entertainment center that when the contractors were here doing work, I had them put more shelves in it and paint it all white. So yeah. Yeah, that was our thing, wasn't it, Michelle? Cinder blocks and planks. I did have a wine bottle with the melting candles, and I actually had a big wax candle, like a huge one that a friend made me, and it was purple. It was purple. Abby would have loved it. Oh, Abby, thank you so much for the super chat. She says, thank you, Susan, for all the inspiration and support you provide, not only to me, but to everyone in the fabric, paper, textile world. You are a sweetheart. Thank you for that. I really appreciate it. Fiona said, I just finished assembling an office chair and desk in the sewing room. Now I need to reorganize the sewing room. Yep, it's like dominoes, right? It all topples. I had to stop myself. I so wanted to go in and work on moving more paper stuff out, but I'm filling a box of stuff for one friend, and I'll stop and enjoy the visit with my son, and then I'll go back in there and do that. On the plus side, the house is all nice and clean for company coming. So, stitchers, do you have a favorite stitch? What's your go-to stitch all the time? I think mine would have to be, it's a toss-up between seed stitch and knots. Although I just bought a bunch of GIMP, so I'm going to try to do the long swirly, I guess they would be bullion knots, when they're going to be long, not just for, yeah, bullion. Thank you, Marjorie. That was the word I was looking for, the bullion knots. Fly stitch. Victoria, I remember when you struggled so hard to learn that one and you stuck with it. Oh, Abby says, you're very welcome, my friend. I need to bop out. So have a fabulous day, everyone. And thanks for chatting with me. I will definitely enjoy my time with my son tonight. Thank you. It's great to see you here. And again, you guys go check out Abby's Purple Cottage Craft channel for more on stitching and the wonderful color purple. Mouse says, the Target instructions specifically say not to use power stools because it will strip something. So now I'm not sure whether I should continue to hand blister tighten. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Yeah, that's too bad. Victoria said, I struggled so hard with that stitch, but once I got the hang of it, now I want to do that stitch on everything. Yeah. Running stitch in knots. I do a lot of the X's too, says Michelle. Yeah. Corinne says, you're all wearing me out with the organizing and cleaning because you're already done with all that, right? Running stitch to relax. Yeah, after learning new stitches. Yeah. And thank you. I think it was Colorado Blue Skies Boutique. I think it was here last week that recommended Ariane Zurcher. I've been really enjoying watching her channel. Fabulous stitching. Oh, you're not done, Corinne? Sharon says straight stitch for me. Nothing wrong with a good straight stitch. Nothing wrong with that at all. Well, and I'm only done organizing until I start the next project, and then all bets are off. Everything comes out. It goes all over the place. Oh, this feels so good when you start to get the texture happening. Gosh, I love the feel of it all. Just love the feel of it all. Love the zigzag on the sewing machine. I probably have not had the sewing machine up for 6 months. Been experimenting with 3-dimensional stitching. So like what, Marjorie? Like the stump work kind of stuff? Whoops, almost came out. No. Oh, it's so close. It's always when you get close to the end. Has anyone ever realized the word sewer could be mispronounced? Oh, well, sewer and sewer here. Yeah. You got to be careful when you use what. And no, Diane, I don't think we are ever done reorganizing. The next project is what happened to you. Yeah, Corinne, it's just, and I know because we all have so much stuff, because we just can't resist. Karen says, Alex Anderson. Oh, Carol, thank you. I love hearing more people that I can go check out. Let me go. Alex Anderson. Any other people you guys want to recommend that are stitching channels? I love what Ariane's doing. You're waiting on a used book that I ordered that shows all the embroidery stitches. Right now it's seed stitches and a halfway attempt at French knots. Yeah. Stump work. Yeah. Found it on some. Yeah. If you go to Pinterest and put in stump work, you get some beautiful, beautiful stuff. There was a gal I just saw. She had shells and she was embroidering over shells. It was fabulous. I'm doing a weaving class, right? Not weave. Well, it's weaving, basketry, whatever. And I want to learn looping so that I can loop over stones. You wrap in knot around straws. Oh, last homely house for hand quilting. Thank you, Victoria. I like the idea of doing stuff over straws. I have so many straws that we will never use. A giant pack I bought many years ago. That would be a good use of them. Carol, I wish you would. Your work is absolutely stunning. If you guys want to see some beautiful work, you need to follow Whispering Cauldron and, go over on Instagram. You can see some of her absolutely gorgeous work. You use that stitch to make wisteria flowers. Ooh, I saw somebody that, it was probably on Pinterest, so I can't remember who it was now, that was doing hydrangea flowers by snipping little tiny pieces of fabric and then just stitching them together with a little knot. And, then you could kind of spread them out in different layers. And there were some really beautiful flowers that could be done that way. Lori says one of the museum tours had weaving sculptures all from her backyard materials. Yeah. Yeah, Harriet Goodall is the person I'm taking the class from, and her work just, some beautiful, beautiful big pieces. Oh, there's Victoria being our rock star, getting the links for us. Thank you. Yep, I'm glad this was the right call. Jamie Mason. Just started watching her. All right, we'll check it out. You know that's one of the best things you can do to help your fellow artists is to share a video of theirs that you love, share their Instagram connections, share their YouTube, share the people that you love. It doesn't cost you anything except for the time, and it helps all the way around. Plus, it feels good. Hey, Victoria, if you don't take care of you first, you're not going to be around to take care of the rest of us when you want to help out. So I'm glad that you recognized you needed to pull back from certain things and take time for you. That's super most important. And especially right now in the holiday season, when so much pressure comes on us women to do too many things, I hope you guys are all taking time to take care of yourselves. Thank you, Fiona. Sonia, you know what? I think I saw something of hers a while back and didn't save it, so I'm glad to see the name again. Does beadwork and journals. She's just finished a beaded beetle with all the problems shown and resolved. Ooh. I love it when people don't edit out the mistakes. We want to see the problems. We want to see the stuff that you have to go through to get to the end. And then we want to see, how you dealt with them. My thought is that I can always, if I don't like one part of this, I can just cut it off, use it on something else. Oh, Jamie Mason is over on the Colorlicious channel. Colorlicious has got some great stuff. A lot of it is, teasers maybe to get you to buy something bigger, but there's a lot of free content over there. There's also, it's not that a stitcher per se, but it's textile art. There's this guy who has a channel. Maybe some of you guys will know him. He rides a motorcycle and goes to the artist places, and he interviews them. And I've seen him do some really wonderful interviews. Shoot, I need to find him. I know, Laura, there's some great, I can't do it. I want that finger back. I want it working. It just doesn't, that's as much as it bends anymore. Just doesn't bend. See you later, Marjorie. Thanks for hanging with us. I'm going to go look for your crazy, wacky, evil Doctor Who people that you're creating. I hope you got some pictures posted somewhere. Or post them in the group. Let's see here. I'll at least get some in between everything. Oh, the texture feels so good. I have some material. I think I want to just do nothing but color in your life. Thank you, Diane. I knew somebody would know it. Color in your life. Graham Stevenson. That's exactly who I wanted. Oh, Margaret, hello. Graham Stevenson. He does some great interviews, and I recommend checking out his channel for some stuff. Margaret, you are up and at him, and you remembered, and you popped over. Yeah, Fiona, we've got some good chat going on. A lot of great ideas, discussions, and you guys are always so awesome about that. Victoria says things are still very strained here and will be for quite some time before I finally get some closure as to my current circumstances, but I'm in a much better place than I have been. I'm so glad, Victoria. You deserve to have some peace and some closure. Yeah, Color in Your Life. He's got some great stuff. Really worth, if you want to like put something on and just, stitch and listen, it's worth it. Carol says, I feel you on the finger. I broke my pinky separating my dogs that were fighting. You never know how much you use it until it doesn't move. Exactly. Yeah. And I mean, I would have been probably healed by now if I hadn't injured it a second time. So I think it's the swelling will not go down. It's, I don't know if you can see, but the skin is just pulled so tight. It's not normal looking. And so I can't get the swelling to go down. So the doctor said, maybe mid-December to go have a shot to help get the swelling down, which makes me nervous because I know if I get a shot there, then a cortisone shot, it's going to be more potential for arthritis there. Diane said he came to my shop and interviewed some local artists. Oh, how wonderful. He just seems so charming. You are absolutely stronger than you think, Victoria. Absolutely. And I'm glad that you're getting that. That was my time when I was living in New Orleans on my own that taught me that as well, that I was much stronger than I realized. And thank you, Joanne, for the kind words. As far as conversationalist, I just think I want to be heard if I'm in a conversation. I have gone to too many live streams in the past where I felt like it was only the people that were, the super, the cliquey ones, the popular kids or the best friends or whatever it was that got talked to. And I was ignored so many times that I do not want that to happen. Throwing finished pieces back in the dye pot. Ooh, you'll need to share some pictures of that. That's exciting. Yeah, the problem with therapy right now, because the doctor said the same thing, is that she would be sending me to therapy, except that you just can't get in to see them because they're saving all their appointments for people with having surgeries. So I'm trying some little exercises on my own, and it's just frustrating. I mean, this has been since September that I haven't had the use of that finger, and it's hard. But then I, keep telling myself I can't complain because the rest of me is working pretty well. And with my son's health issues, he's got one half of his body that doesn't work, so I can't complain. Debbie says it's unfortunate that it takes a life knock to teach us how strong we are. It'd be nice to learn the lesson without the knock. Yeah, I agree. And I know you've had your own heart knock, Debbie. Yeah, Diane, it's very hurtful when you're unheard and unseen. And there's times where people want to be in the background, and I understand that. It's totally fine if you are uncomfortable or still nervous or hesitant about, claiming any kind of space in the public and you don't want to participate. That's totally fine. But when people are actively trying to be a part of something and feeling ignored, it's just no good. You can't create, you walk away and then you're feeling down. And Victoria says, I am also happy now on my own. Just me and my boy Taylor. We make an excellent team. Yeah. Hot wax was helpful. Oh, that's interesting. You know what? I had totally forgotten that was a type of hand therapy. That is something worth checking out. Thank you, Lori. Yes, Fiona, we are all strong women. We have to be in order to survive. Yep. Joanne, no, it's not that you were being too sensitive when you weren't being heard in groups. It's that some groups, just by their very nature of the person that started the group, it's a culture that they cultivate, which is not good. Or some groups get so huge that if you weren't part of the group at the beginning, it makes it really hard. And that's why I'm just really grateful to those of you in my group that do participate and support. And there are lurkers there too, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm fine with those people lurking. But if you're going to participate and share your stuff, you need to, talk to the other people. You need to support the other people, because I think what I've done is gathered a lot of people that are not necessarily, you guys need to help me find a word for it, because I'm trying to figure this out for my pivot for the channel. It's not that you're nervous crafters. It's not that we're hesitant, we're insecure. I don't want to put a label on it like that, but thank you, Diane. I'm so glad that you think my group is one of the best. I want to figure out how to say in one sentence what I do, for you guys and how we gather together to support one another. Is it that, what did I write down earlier? Okay, I help hesitant makers explore their creativity. That's too bland. It doesn't quite get it, but that's the road that I'm on. And I don't like the word hesitant. Evolving. Ooh, I love that word, Lori. Yeah, Debbie, you're a lurker, and that's fine, because when you've got stuff to say, you say. If somebody asks a direct question about something that you have input on, you speak up. Evolving. I'm writing that one down. Creative networking. Today, you almost postponed a trip to the bank because you wanted to be here. I'm so grateful for this group. I don't ever want to miss a session. Joanne, that's, whoops. That's wonderful. Thank you. Learners of techniques. Hi, Pat. It's a real, I might actually post this in the group. Emerging. Oh, I like emerging and evolving. Yes, these are good words because that's what it is. We're all evolving at different levels. And even when we think we have something down, you find one person, not necessarily me, but you just find one person that helps spark something else and you're going in a different direction. Hey, Patty. Yes. Lurking is okay. I've been here from the beginning and the company was nice. Yeah, there's absolutely nothing wrong with lurking because we know Patty is not shy. And if Patty has a question, Patty asks a question. If Patty just needs to come for a few weeks and lurk, there's nothing wrong with that. We all come together to get what we need in that moment. Yeah, we meet wherever we are. Michelle says, I'm drawn to natural fabrics and fibers of your channel. Also my great personality. Thank you. That's sweet. Thank you. Thank you. And I think it's just important to meet people where they are. Your social skills are not on point today. It's okay. They don't have to be. You just have to be you. There are days where I want to come here and just say, I don't have it in me today to socialize. And yet I do find that it's important for me to be a part of this because I don't go out and socialize otherwise. Some groups you just know you belong, and Susan's group is definitely in the belong category for me. Thank you so much, Victoria. That is so sweet. I love, the group is just about a year old. We have January 1st will be a year old, and we have a little over 400 people in the group. And we do have a lot of lurkers there, and I'm totally fine with that. The only thing I have trouble with in the group, and this isn't a problem in our group, but in other groups where people, and I think it happens because people just think they need to get all this exposure, where people just drop a link and then they run. And they never, ever comment on a post. And we don't really have that. We don't have that in our group. And everybody, maybe not everybody posts, they might drop a link and they might not post that day, but I know they come back around and post eventually. And I just think that's important for the energy that we get in there. We get the energy because we're all in there sharing. What did I do with the needle? There it is. Because we're sharing our stuff, because we're supporting each other on the journeys. Diane says, my favorite quote from my Reiki teacher way back was, when the student is willing, the teacher emerges and they can be the same person. Oh, yes. Yes, that's wonderful. Fiona says that I have found my clan. Yep. We are our people. And I love that we don't have to, whoops. Let's see if I don't think that was going to work on a threading. Obviously I cannot. Oh, I can thread a needle and talk at the same time. Who knew that? I don't know. I just love you guys. I love the fact that the group is growing at a pace that we seem to be able to handle. And that's important to me. It's important that we don't lose sight of each other in the group. Thank you, Corinne. Corinne says you model best how to support one another. That is fabulous. Thank you. I cannot say thank you enough for that. That's exactly what I would hope. Sharon says, yes, exactly. In so many groups, it can be hard work and tiring to participate. I don't dedicate much time to social media and groups now as they were draining me. Yeah, and we don't have to be a part of everything. We think we have to be a part of everything, but we don't. She says, but Susan's group and all of you ignites and rejuvenates my creativity continuously. I'm so glad to hear that, Sharon. Lisa, hi, welcome. I'm new and lurking, just found this group, or rather it popped up for me and came along to nose. I am so happy to have you join us. Okay, guys, I need to make a decision. Are we going to do just, no, I don't need to make a decision. I know exactly what I'm going to do here. I know exactly what I want to put. So Lisa, what kind of creative work do you like to do? Let's see, where am I? I'm going to start at the point, I think, and then we'll work our way in. So I've got, oops, and I just messed up, guys. I just messed up. I did 3 strands of this one, and I wanted to do 3 strands of the brown up here. Diane says, I found a packet of self-threading needles. Oh my God, a game changer for me. I can use finer needles again. So the self-threading needles, they make them with the ones for the really fine holes. That is awesome. I have seen them, but I have not tried them. Lisa makes junk journals. Nice. We have a lot of wonderful junk journal makers here. Okay. I'm doing this because I had messed up. I did 3. The reason I'm changing this is because I was doing 3 of the orangey color. Let's see if that will focus. And a single strand of the brown. Now up here, I'm going to do 3 of the brown and a single strand of the gold. And of course, I won't make it through all of that today. But now I've got those other ones that we were looking at earlier. I'm going to have to make up my mind what I'm going to do to them. But that will be tomorrow's problem. Oh, Fiona, you're new too. I didn't realize that. Well, it seemed like you had always been here. You fit right in. And I think that's what it is when you find the right group. And, I did like everybody did, right? I joined, gazillion Facebook groups because I thought I had to be everywhere. Okay, thanks, Diane. Got to go to work. Take care. Thanks for spending some of your morning with us before you went to work. Appreciate it. I joined all the groups. And I thought I needed to be everywhere. It was the only way people were going to get to know me, and I needed to get known because I had this, you want to grow everything really fast, and it's hard. You can't keep up with it all. It's going to drain you. And some people can. There are people, God bless them, with boundless energy, and they can do 800 things at once. They can do a video every day of the week and, churn out, 50 journals, in a week's time. And that's great. More power to them. It's not me, but that's okay because we're not going to play the compare game because nobody wins when we do that compare game. And I've been gradually pulling back. There are a few groups that I will never leave, even if I'm not super active in, just because I love being able to peek in and see what the people in the group are doing. But you can't, if you're a member of 25 groups, you can't visit them all and comment to the people that you want to and still do your own work. Lori says, so wonderful to have this group, especially with all that is happening in the world. It keeps us going. Yep. Thank you. I appreciate that. And yeah, Fiona, you found your clan. We're not going to let you go now. I do hope you'll come over and join the Facebook group. Victoria, do you think you could grab the link for the Facebook group so those people that aren't in it can join us over there, please, if you have a chance? And yeah, even through all your craziness, you've still been here supporting things, Victoria. All right, already that stitch ticked me off because it was too big. Yeah, bless them, Sharon, because boy, my batteries aren't energizers. Exactly. Some of the journal groups are just clicky and bitchy. Yep, I agree. And, there are people that enjoy that kind of environment. It's toxic for me, though. And when I was younger, I probably would have thought, oh, well, it's something about me. I'm not doing something right. Now it's like, nope, that's just not me. It's not my clan. Thank you, Victoria. So Victoria just posted the link for the Facebook group if you want to join us over there. It's just a very supportive environment where we can all just share our stuff and support one another. And all art forms are welcome. You know, if you are a painter, if you are a crocheter, if you are a journal maker, it doesn't matter. Creativity takes many forms. So Mouse said there are many subcategories of junk journals, and she was wondering to Lisa, what category do you make? That's a good question to be asking people. What would be a subcategory of junk journals? I'm not sure what you mean, Mouse. I'm confused too. Does somebody else understand Mouse's question? Patty says, yeah, the drama and the cat fighting is exhausting. I so agree. Learned early on that is not for me. Yep. And honestly, there are people that seem to just love that stuff. That's like, fine, go for it, guys. Go for it. I have other things to do. And when I realized, you know, like this live stream is important to me. I need to make sure that I have the energy to come in every week and spend time with you guys and hopefully, you know, fire you guys up. And if I spend my time in a gazillion other Facebook groups trying to navigate the cat fighting and the drama, I'm not going to have any energy for you guys. I would rather put, okay, I'm an extreme introvert. And for those of you that don't know, an introvert is somebody who gets who recharges their batteries from the quiet. Victoria says 34 people watching right now, but only 21 likes. Please go and give that thumbs up a nudge. Thank you for that. So I need a lot of quiet to recharge my batteries, and I got to be careful where I spend my energy. Debbie says, I think there are true junk journals that are made just from recycled papers. There are journals like that are made for people to write in, and there are art journals. That's how I think of the different types. I like that. And dramas for high school. Yeah, I didn't like it back then either. So you have to decide where you want to spend your energy. I mean, there are people that devote all their days to just doing things in groups. And if that works for them, awesome sauce. I'll tell you, I wish that I had started my group a couple years ago because I didn't think about how wonderful a focused group like that would be for people that are of the same kind of like mind as me. Yeah, I didn't like it the first time either, Patty. Yeah, I gotcha. It's just, it was horrible. I was never one of the cool kids in school. I didn't spend a lot of time at the school. It was like I was always either going out to the skating rink or going to the horse ranch. And so then I didn't have a lot to talk about with people at school. Lisa says, I do grungy, some vingy, scrappy frayed, and then just peeking at digital kits. Ah, well, you have, the world is opening up to you. Debbie says, I graduated early from high school, so I got away from the drama early. Nice. I need some water here. Yeah, Victoria, you had shock and drama, and it just, you have, when all your energy has to go to mere survival. I mean, that's what it was like for me when I was living in Louisiana. I didn't, you know, I wasn't writing then because I couldn't create. Lori says, I think I can't ever get this moment, day, etc. again. How do I want to use it? Yeah, that's a great attitude to have. Joanne, that's a great phrase. I like the boat you row, Patty. I love it. That is a great phrase. Lisa's been making journals for nearly 3 years, and I still love it. That's wonderful. We have some really talented journal makers here. Probably recognize a lot of the names. Let's see. I am really pleased with the random way this thing is coming together, even if I don't know where it's going to go. I don't know what it's going to land on. Maybe it'll be something that just lands on itself. You know, it could be that what I do, let's see what I have. It's not quite big enough, but this could go on another piece of paper. Let's see. Let's find something. I don't have a lot of paper right here next to me, but this is all deli paper that just has some backgrounds on it. And then I was going to do some botanical printing on top of that. Well, let's just say this. So I could mount the fabric to a piece of paper, and I could stitch this deli paper to another piece of fabric or a bigger piece of paper. So when you're working small like this, that's one of the things I like, is that the potential is there to do so many other things. Yeah, I'm glad I opened that drawer. I remembered that I had those things. I need to get back in there and use them again. Use them up. Use it up. Use it up. So yeah, after this week, I'm going to probably do the knotting video next, and then I'm going to do one on coloring fabric, and then I'm going to be doing a lot of just coloring fabric videos because I have a lot to say. Yeah, they kind of pop on the deli papers, don't they? Just put the needle in the fabric. That's right. I think Lori said that, and it was good advice. You just get started. I think seed stitch is just kind of addicting. So I'm coming to the end of my hour and a half. I've learned that an hour and a half is a good time for me. My voice holds up that long, and any longer than that, I start to give myself issues. So I am going to, you thought I said naughty. Yeah, they could be naughty knots. That's what somebody said over on Instagram. They were naughty knots. I'm going to go finish getting ready for my son's visit tonight. And yeah, knotting video. I'm going to probably do that one tomorrow. It'll be an easy one. I have a lot of samples that I can show, so it'll be a quick video that I can share. But here's where I am on this piece right now. And I don't know if I'll be working on that next week or it'll be done by then. So thank you guys so much for hanging with me today. Thank you for chatting with one another and with me. Thank you for the kind words that you bestowed on me and everybody else. You guys are absolutely amazing. I love you all. If you're not already in the Facebook group, please join us over there. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to tonight. Really looking forward to it. All right. I will see you guys next week, or I will see you in the group. Bye-bye for now.